You're tuning in to Past Our Prime, a show powered by SquadLocker.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
Here are your hosts, retired Astros minor league star Tip Fairchild and former Patriots All-Pro center Dan Koppen.
Go rock this thing, huh?
Hey, welcome to Past Our Prime. I'm Dan, he's Tip, and it's National Past Our Prime Dan Koppen Day. It's episode 67. I just had to. I just had to throw it in there.
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah,
good.
You got your mind on other shit. I got it.
No, it's 2 more episodes from now.
Oh, you're waiting for that one?
Well, yeah, but I forgot 67. This is your special episode.
This is my special episode.
Oh, good.
So we've got one of my
special
friends,
guest,
and
yeah.
I'm bringing in a baseball player today.
I remember how I used to bring in the football players, and we don't know how that happened, but
Well,
you're bringing in the baseball
I'm
guys.
going to bring one
Good.
in. We got Jason Hammel, former Major League Baseball pitcher. Major League Baseball. That sounds just stupid. What a
Because
MLB
we're used to saying minor league baseball.
yeah. So, Jay, I don't know. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you coming on and taking time out of your day. You know, I'm sure you had drop-offs this morning. I'm sure, and you texted me probably 20 minutes ago. You're rushing home from the grocery store, so I'm just wondering, what'd you get at the grocery store? What's the day look like for you today?
So it's been kind of a shit show the last few days. I did just get back from Pinehurst since you want to talk golf.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk golf. We'll get there. I kind of want to know about the grocery store first. I just want to know how exciting your life is.
Forget golf, yeah. I got some milk, eggs, the basics, nothing crazy. Some bread, some avocados. I'm trying this whole retired thing out for the last few years, and I've learned that I just stopped working for myself, and now I'm working for my wife. So
yeah,
yes,
that kind of happens.
That absolutely does happen.
I'm about 8 years into
rule
it.
number 1 in the first minute.
yeah, I did.
The wife's out of it.
I usually say minor league baseball player because I don't know. Do you know Tip Fairchild? Have you ever heard that name in the baseball realm?
Never know.
I know that's why I'm asking him.
I have honestly, no. I'm sorry, man. I'm sure
it's okay.
You both
it's
played
fine.
in the same state.
I'm
He
sure
was with the Rangers for a little bit.
Oh
And
yeah,
you were
but he
with
was
Houston.
He was in
Minor.
I was in Oneonta, New York when he was in the show already. So we missed paths. You made your debut in 06, right?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was busy tearing up the South Atlantic League at that time.
Where were you at in the South Atlantic, in the Sally League? Where were you at?
Lexington, the best city in the world.
Dude, you guys had a sick stadium for a minor league stadium. Guys were.
It was UK's
That's the
campus.
house that Fairchild built.
It was the house that Fairchild built. You're right. So and we've talked about this a few times because we've had a lot of those guys on the show. Greatest scene you can have because you're on UK's campus, and like Thursday night was 50-cent beer
Is that
night.
on UK's campus?
Well,
I didn't know that.
Well, Lexington basically is UK's campus, so it's like a
I get
mile
that.
away.
Does UK play yet?
No, they have their own.
They have their own.
own. But you get all the sorority and fraternity folk.
Then you broke rule number 2. What the?
coming down to the games, like 50-cent beers, and then you go. I don't know if you remember the scene down there, but you go to Two Keys, you go to Gambino's after the game. That's a good place to travel to playing in minor league baseball.
He didn't play.
As a home stadium, I'm sure, but as a visitor, you remember the bus rides, man. So you didn't get too much time to really hang out, and usually like a Motel 6 with a roommate. So that kind of kills a lot of the fun.
Yeah.
When I was in the Sally League, I was in Chucktown. I was in Charleston, South Carolina, and that's another beauty, man. That's for a 19, 20-year-old, almost 21-year-old kid. You're really setting yourself up for failure doing that. Like
absolutely. And then you're from Greenville, right?
I was born in Greenville, but I don't remember.
In Greenville.
Yeah, I was
got it.
A cup of coffee, and then we moved to Pittsburgh.
Okay, because Greenville has a great minor league place too, like a little vibe down there with with grasshoppers are down there.
Yep.
Another good hat, by the way.
Did you ever? I used to get minor league hats when I was younger. I used to think, was that a cool thing to do? I mean,
I
remember like, hey, here's a cool logo or whatever.
Everybody had the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Yeah.
With like the eyes on it. That was a popular one because we come from the No Fear days.
Oh yeah,
we're all in the same age group, right? So we come from No Fear shirts.
Is that
Remember
still,
the No Fear
yeah,
shirts?
is that still around?
I don't know,
Probably
but
not.
those were awesome.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
those were.
I do, yeah.
And then also another cool set of shirts during that era was Co-Ed Naked. Remember Co-Ed Naked shirts?
Oh, I don't think I was allowed to wear those shirts.
You can't. You couldn't wear them to school.
Yeah,
It was
can't
like,
wear-
get your ass in the grass, or like something like that on it, right?
You know what this? And I did wear this early on in my career for a couple nights out, and I think my wife still makes fun of me to this day. Remember the Affliction shirts?
Oh, do I remember them? This was probably right in your heyday in minor league.
Yeah, Jay, your body's perfect for an Affliction
You
shirt.
definitely wore Affliction shirts.
Oh no, this is terrible because when I came up with the Rays and Joe Madden was there, and he's always been the guy that really like had the haywire, really crazy theme trips, and we had an Affliction trip, and literally like we would go to Nordstrom and the whole team would buy up Affliction, and it was the grossest thing I've ever seen. It was just imagine my wiry, skinny fat man body with those loose Affliction shirts that were supposed to be wrapped around like a Guido body, like massive.
Yes.
Just
It didn't work for me, but I tried like hell.
You're supposed to have shoulders to wear those
you're
shirts.
supposed to have arms. You're supposed to have
Exactly.
tattoos. It just doesn't work out for us.
Please tell me you still have that shirt. Do you
I
still
don't
have
know.
one kicking around?
I don't save shit. Just that
Yeah,
thing
you
was
get rid of
gone.
it.
Probably.
Max, we got to get a couple of
It
Affliction
was also
shirts in
probably
here.
like a 4X.
It might have been.
So it
Might
probably looked like a small
Save it for me.
on Jason.
Save it for me. I'm getting
Yeah,
there.
yeah, you're getting there. You spent some time in the minors. How are those, like, as a pitcher, if you're starting the next day, what's the longest, like, bus ride that you went on and you had to play when you get there?
So I was lucky because I was a starter, so it was once every 5 days. My chances of playing on a long bus ride were good, and you knew when it was coming too. Like if you could schedule, all right, this is day 3, we got 2 more, a road trip game. All right, this one's all right, I'm gonna take like the longest bus ride was when it was again in the Sally League. It was Charleston to as far north as like
Lakewood, probably, right? Lakewood, Lakeland or something. Lakewood, maybe?
Yeah.
All the way up in New Jersey.
It was, yeah, exactly. I forget which one. I think it's still there. It was a hike. It was like 14 hours, and it's just miserable. It was miserable. And, you know, I was lucky enough. Well, I guess I wasn't really lucky enough because it was my second go round because I broke my wrist my first year in the Sally League and I missed time. And I came back for like 2 months there just to get it right before I went to Bakersfield, California, which is another place it's not really fun to go to either. But
I played in the California League too. I was in Lancaster. It's an absolute launching pad. I gave up 100 home runs there in half a season.
dude, it's like playing on the moon there. You know what's crazy about Bakersfield? This is a funny story. I don't know if this is actually public. It probably is. If you really wanted to go dig.
It's a shithole. Is that the
Jason,
funny
remember,
thing?
nobody listens, so nobody's going to hear it.
There's two things. You remember how that you said that they had the Black Widows in the visiting team dugout?
No.
You didn't know that?
Dancers?
What?
Are we talking about dancers or are we talking about spiders?
Like spiders. But actual
I did not know that. I would have been terrified, by the way. I hate them.
Yeah, you do.
I'm so glad I'm not playing anymore.
Dude, the visiting clubhouse was infested. There's always something happening. Every series, somebody had a problem with one. But remember in center field how the games you had to start at 7:50 because the sun set.
Yeah, it was a 7:50 game. Like on the East Coast, it was 11:50 at night when the game started.
It was ridiculous. So, like right after, I think it was 2 years after I left there. So it was 2004 I was there. 2006 I made my debut. I heard a story from the guys during spring training in 2006 that they'd raised enough money to build a new batter's eye taller, to block it out during the season. But the problem was they built it during the off season, which was slightly left.
Where the sun is. Yeah.
So they put like $500,000 into this like massive like new batter's eye, and then the season went around and it didn't do anything. It was still
The sun missed it. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
love
somebody
stuff like
would
that.
have been
just people not thinking.
Yeah,
just people not thinking. What about so we covered the Sally League and the California League. Did you play in the Carolina League at all?
I didn't play in the Carolina. No, for Double A, or let's see, that was Double A, right?
Oh, that was High A. So what about Double A? Where were you in Double A? Southern League?
I was in Montgomery in the Southern League. I was a Biscuit.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the Biscuits are a good team. Reed played for the Biscuits too.
Okay.
Wait, what year was that? What year were you there?
04.
Okay, too early. Reed was there probably 06.
He's a youngster.
06 or so, 07. So, well, the Cali League, though, I mean, not the Cali League, the Carolina League, I wondered if you went to Myrtle Beach, because that is an experience, going to Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach is awesome, and also a hotbed for golf.
Yeah.
And you
in the minors, like you were starting the minors too,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Are you allowed to bring your clubs on this bus?
we'd have them. We'd have them on some trips, but nothing like when you get to the big leagues. I mean,
No,
like,
we're going to get there.
Yeah,
I want to get there.
that's
But,
where my knowledge base
like,
stops.
based on like a 10th round pick, you were 23rd round first. You decide not to come out, and then you go back into the draft. Which, by the way, that whole process,
10th round, 12th round. We're in the same boat here.
But the whole process just baffles me.
Yeah.
You're drafted at one point, then you can say you don't want to go,
Yep.
or you're not going to. Why didn't you go the first time?
17-year-old.
Yeah,
17-year-old, right?
I was 17, so I was like, I got drafted by the Mariners my first time, and that was 23rd round. You know, the local team, local kid, like wanted to do it, but baseball, honestly, was like, it was like a shadow of doubt in my mind, where I was thinking maybe I might not be doing baseball. I loved it, but it took me my 2 years of college, junior college, to where I actually filled out, because I was running around the shower trying to get wet. You know, I was 6'6", $175, I think, my senior year of high school, and I was throwing 87, 88.
175. I think I was 175 in like 8th grade.
No, I was going to say 6th grade.
No, I wasn't 6th grade.
You were pointing at me, Dan, the kid. You're shoving me in my locker still.
No, I wasn't that guy. That guy.
But you were tall, though. You were tall all the way through with high school?
I was tall, and I had a sick curveball, sick hammer, and it was kind of what caught the eye. I faced the top prospect was in our same league, like, I guess, division in high school ball. We were a 4A team, and he actually was committed to Arizona State on a football scholarship. Skylar Fulton was his name, and his team came in. He played for Olympia, I think it was Olympia or Olympic or something like that. Anyway, he came in, and I pitched that game, and I punched his ticket 3 times, and there were scouts there watching him, and that's how I got seen. And that was the Rockies, the Rays, and the Mariners were all there. And that's kind of how things took off. But that wasn't until like literally May of my senior year. But before that, baseball really even on I was hoping to go walk on at a local community college, and then I was going to be a nerd, be a graphic designer.
So yeah, this is a lot like McKellar's story.
Yeah, by the way, your language in baseball is phenomenal. Puncher's ticket.
Yeah, you heard Puncher's ticket.
He basically,
I saw him get excited when you said that.
Yeah, he just complimented himself. He's got a great hammer too.
Oh yeah, great hammer.
Great hammer. Yeah. He punched his
Hammer's
ticket.
a different thing in your locker room.
I think it's a different thing everywhere. Let's be clear about that.
That's
Baseball, it really doesn't matter. It does matter. I mean, it helps to go to that big name program or go right from high school to the minors or majors, and obviously you were good enough to do that. You just chose not to. But it doesn't matter where you go, as long as they're going to find you anywhere.
Yeah. If you make good on an opportunity. I obviously had no idea there were scouts there. I was just kind of pitching, having a good time, and I ended up having a good game, and then things took off from there. My scout was best friends with the head coach that I ended up going to school at, the college, Treasure Valley in Oregon. And they gave me a ride there, and I went there and, filled out, put on my college weight.
Yeah, skinny fat.
Yeah, what was
that? The French fries.
185?
Yeah, he gained 10 pounds of just mush. 10 pounds of mush.
Oh yeah, lots of 12-ounce curls. It was bad. But hey, my velocity went from 88 to like 95. So it was something that worked. It was a good concoction to make it work. But
now, one thing that Dan and I have talked about multiple times on this show, comes up a lot, is the difference in guaranteed money contracts with Major League Baseball. NFL doesn't have that. But also what he can't understand is the time that you play in the game helps set you up for life with insurance and like the pension and all this stuff. entirely different
It doesn't
than
matter.
the NFL. Opposite.
You could say whatever you want. I would play baseball just for those two things.
Just for those two things.
Just the pension and the insurance is just like, I don't know how you guys get it.
Yeah, well, I did not. So
no, I know you did.
Actually, I did. There is a minor league one, and you can actually. I did this like 3 years ago. They just say, hey, you have your time. So I had 4.5 years or whatever. So they go, fill this out, and we'll just send you the money right now. And it's like, thanks for the $7,300.
Perfect.
Call it a day. Now the other thing though that's going on right now, and you know this, well maybe you don't, but there's huge lawsuits going on right now with the minor league wage issue. Tons of guys in this. But also, there's this crazy thing with California, and if you were injured and you ever played in California with the workers' comp thing. So, if you threw a pitch in the state of California and you've ever been hurt in your career.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've been hurt in California. Just hurt.
You either need to be born in California, signed your contract in California, or threw one pitch in California. And you can go, like everybody's going and doing it right now. You go there and they say, all right, here's your settlement number. You do like a quick deposition. You go to the doctor.
Yep.
They give you a number. You say no. And then you get in this law group, and then they come back and they like throw another number out, and you either take it or not. Literally everybody I know is doing it that was in the minor leagues.
No kidding.
Yes. So you should look into it if you're looking to make a quick, 80, 90, 120 grand. It's like good money. It's like real money.
Tip will take 10%.
I will.
Finder's fee.
Yeah. Well, that's what all these law firms are doing. It's crazy right now. But Dan, this is all Dan talks about is how the difference in Major League Baseball with the more time you have.
The union. I think it's more about the power of Major League Baseball's union versus NFL's union.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the new CBA for the NFL was probably, 2 years ago, 3 years ago or whatever. And it's just, we make these stupid concessions as players, and you're, whatever the leadership group is, 5, 6, 7 guys, they're still players. And you're going against 32 billionaires.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win this argument?
Right.
Like, you guys did it right, and is it more star power in baseball? It was more centered around
it's America's pastime.
The one thing. Yeah, but how the hell did they get that power over the owners at first? Is it 162 games a year where they're filling out stadiums, which, some of those stadiums aren't being filled right now.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No,
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it has a lot to do with obviously the union, like Dan stated, but the I guess the history carries back further with the baseball union than I guess the NFL union. I can't speak on the NFL union. Obviously, I didn't play, but I do understand your gripe, Dan, because it's ridiculous. You guys are taking a beating. Our season's grueling too, but the physicality part of like scrambling your brain in the NFL as opposed to just being wear and tear over 162 games is crazy, to where there's not more in the favor of the players for, post-career stuff.
The post thing is what's wild to me. I can understand non-guaranteed money, but there are more contracts that are coming out that way
Deshaun
now.
Watson just came out with that guaranteed contract, right? $230 million, all guaranteed.
And even still,
and I get that. I get if it's a quarterback, you're going to have more guaranteed money towards that guy. It's the most important position out on the football field. I get that. And the other thing is, I guess, the roster size, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your roster size is not 53, and then you throw practice players in there. It's up to the 60s. You're carrying 90 in the training camp. So the number of players, I get how it is. I just wish we just didn't bow down.
Yeah.
Certain things to get, like, all right, for instance, like one of the CBA issues in 2011, I think we were negotiating one. We wanted like 2 more weeks off in the offseason. Yeah. Where you have to work out during that time regardless. For 2 weeks, they gave up like whatever it was. It just like, it was like, we're fighting for this and they're just fighting for real dollars. It doesn't make sense how we do it.
Should have been a pitcher. We have 4 days off every week.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, let's get to those stories.
Yeah, those are the good stories.
You could be an MLB starter and pitch once every 5 days, or you could be a Japanese major league player and pitch once every 7 days.
That's right. That's true. Did you do anything outside? So did you ever go in the offseason to Venezuela before, maybe early on, or go overseas at all, or was it all traditional path?
Yeah, more the I guess I would just say traditional path, just because in 2006, after my debut, I got essentially we're friends here. I got my shit pushed in for the whole year.
It hurts. Yeah. Welcome to 07.
That's not just that's just not a baseball term too.
Yeah, that was bad. My debut, I went 3 2/3, and I gave up 7 earnings to the Orioles. So I mean, it was a real eye opener, because I was like, oh, I got the Orioles first draw just by watching. You know, they've been inferior for years. And then my second start was against the Royals, and it went pretty well. But I only made 2, and then I went back down for half the season. Came back up in I think late July or August. But yeah, I just couldn't figure out how it was going to work out with I totally lost my train of thought.
Where your path? No Venezuela, right?
I didn't really know how it was going to work out with the end of the year, because I know I didn't really make the impression that I wanted. And they approached me in September, and they wanted me to go play winter ball down in Venezuela, and I actually declined just because I wasn't really comfortable with that.
You're like, I don't want to carry 2 weapons with me everywhere.
And there was a lot of stuff going on, and just hearing horror stories from some guys. I had great Venezuelan teammates, but the stuff that they would tell me about the safety issues and things, I just wasn't comfortable. And I had just met my wife to be that year, and I was looking to hang out with her in the off season and take a break from the big leagues, just to reset, not try and go compete again, play a little golf, go back, visit some friends. But other than that, it was ho-hum, minor leagues, hit every stage, work your way up, and then make the debut. So
was it more physical, not having the stuff early on in your career, or was it more mental?
It was 100% mental. I mean, I remember my debut, I was on the mound, and my first batter was Brian Roberts. And, I think I was living at his tits, at 95. I could not get the ball down glove side to save my life. I couldn't do it. It was my fault.
I actually understand this. Dan's lost right now.
No, I got it now. I got it. As soon as he said I couldn't get the ball down, I was like, okay, the ball's high.
Okay, living at his tits. That's what that means.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So you can tell a guy's got his stuff when he's able to locate a heater down and away, glove side, right? And I mean, it took me 3 innings to do that. And, I took care of all of my first, that first inning. It was ridiculous. First homer, first hit, first strikeout, first walk. I was all over the place, heart beating out of my chest. So I really needed to learn and just experience. Gaining experience is so cliche from hearing it from an athlete's mouth, but it's true. It's true. You get out there, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you are. And I mean, I had a lot to learn about just pitching. I was a thrower when I got to the big leagues, and then I became a pitcher.
I remember my story from my first minor league appearance was my first 2 pitches were back-to-back home runs to Larish and the little guy, Will something. He played for Tampa Bay, but he was with the Tigers initially. And then I struck out the side.
Oh,
back-to-back homers, back-to-back pitches, and struck out the side. I was like, I do not belong here. I do not belong here. Okay, I guess I could pitch here. And then that was it. Yeah. And then I pitched okay for a couple of years, and then it was all downhill from there.
You got your elbow torn out.
That's true. By the way, the Spit and Chicklets podcast that had Gretzky on this week, and we've got Hammel, so that's big.
Yeah.
This is a big.
We're competing.
Yeah, we're competing. Absolutely.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Let's talk. Do you want to go? I do like what you sent him for a text where he said, what are the topics? And Dan said, what'd you say? Golf and
I say
pitches you wish you had back.
Yeah, probably mainly golf, and then pitches you wish you had back. Yeah,
okay, pitches you wish you had back. So let's cover the baseball side first, and then do some golf. All right. So,
by the way, he's a World Series champion too.
That's where I'm going.
Okay,
that's where I'm going. So, you do have a ton of time, ton of different teams. Do you have the hats in the house somewhere, or the hats in your office?
So that's now the game plan. Since we moved back here from Chicago at the beginning of the pandemic because it was a shit show. We needed space, and all of my stuff from all the different teams is packed up. And it was more of this house was our just safety deposit box. And then we'd come back here winter and holidays and stuff. So I have it all, but it's all boxed up, and I have I have some really cool like memorabilia, some cool jerseys. You know, I'm sure like you guys have the same. Like it's just all packed up. We haven't gotten to it. We're thinking about making some changes to the house and renovating and stuff. So it's all.
You can blame it on the pandemic all you want, but your wife's from around here. This was the plan all along.
Yeah,
you're not going anywhere.
I think I'm starting to grasp that. I'm understanding. Like, man, I'm a really like I'm a mental midget because I couldn't pick up on that. And then, you know, my family, I have my mom and my brother and sister live in Pittsburgh. Still have some friends out in Seattle from where I moved after Pittsburgh. But, you know, I do love it here. I do love it here.
Yeah, well,
but you moved around. You moved around as a kid. It sounds like a little bit. So it sounds like you can live anywhere. It doesn't really matter.
And we're breaking our rule a lot right now. Yeah, but it's okay. It's a good rule to break.
We're not saying anything bad.
That's true. We're saying good stuff.
Good stuff.
Dan and I we know 10 guys. You know, we play golf with, hang out with around this area. You know, like let's include you in the mix. 11 guys. None of us are from here.
None.
Not one guy is from here. All of our wives are from here, though. Like, you know, whether it's E.G., Cranston, Providence, North Kingstown, something like that, right?
It just happens.
Just how it works.
It's like a tractor beam. Sucks you in.
Okay, that's still good. We're still in good terms right now. We're saying good, positive things. So memorabilia was where I was going. We've got a ring hanging out somewhere. Is it in a box? Is that with you? Or is that somewhere else?
That one's guarded behind my 18-ton, you know, massive safe below my house that only I can access with a drop of blood. So
yes. That's got the shotguns right next to it.
And it's also a very, very important ring too.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I remember actually watching that series. It was the final game, right? Didn't that end at like 3 a.m, 2 a.m, or something like that?
Yeah, it was like 2, I think. Yeah, it was nuts. And
rain delays, everything going on, right?
Rain delays, lead changes, more over managing than you could ever believe from our side, and like just it was crazy how long that went. And the fact that we were down 3-1, there's no way we should have won that game, but because when Rajah Davis hit the bomb off of Chapman, that was like every fan that was with the Cubs for millennium, like how long they've been around, was like, here's the Cubs legacy. This is where we screw it up.
Yep.
Over. And then, you know, we get the rain delay, and then there's the Jason Hayward pep talk, and you come out, and Schwarber, you know, he came out of his mind. Schwarber and I were supposed to be a thing that year. Like I was super disappointed because we worked together all spring training. It would be my first guy that I ever had like a personal catcher. Mm-hmm. And he collided with Dexter Fowler in the second game of the year against Arizona, and ACL. And then he rehabbed this whole year, rehabbed an ACL to come back basically only for the World Series. And he hit it was unbelievable. So he came up, you know, it was like a Tom Brady moment where, you know, the guy shit's golden and he couldn't do anything wrong. And it was, you know, it kind of sparked us, and it was a crazy ending to that game. And then to go home and win 2 more, it was just, insane.
And the Jason Hayward speech was a real thing.
It was a real thing. And it wasn't really a speech. We were all kind of just sitting in the weight room, kind of waiting out the rain delay. It was more of like guys just chatting and like, what's going on? Like, and this and that. And it came to like Hayward's a guy that really likes very few words spoken, but when he talks, you listen. And it was impressive the way he went about it. He's like, I don't care what happened right there, whether it was just something wrong with the disagreement with the pitching change made, or strikes and balls, or, you know, it didn't really matter. Like he was just like, guys, just get it together, man. We still got a couple innings to play. This can be done. And this isn't going to be our story. And guys just started kind of feeding off of it. And it wasn't like the whole, like the.
Was it a Rudy speech?
Yeah. Was he up on a chair? You know, like we're gonna go. We're gonna fight.
Oh,
What's what he's doing?
We're gonna go.
Yeah. No.
So another thing on that with the rain delay, right? A typical rain delay. You never have experienced one, probably, right? Weather delay.
I don't. I think maybe I mean Tampa. Maybe we had like lightning maybe in the area and got 30 minutes.
Yeah, rain delays for any baseball game. I mean, remember we play a lot of them. Yeah. It's an immediate rush into there to grab the card table, right? And to like hit the spread and like to like take your cleats off. I have to imagine that was a different rain delay experience. Were you like, I mean, did you feel bad if you were like, hey, let's play AC Doocy or something? Like, were people doing that? Or was it like, no, we got to like actually focus right now?
That one, it was funny. You make a good point. It was like that one. It was not a rush to the card table. We were all kind of just like, I think we were still a little shell shocked from what had happened. And, we didn't think Lester was going to come in to pitch for Kyle Hendricks, who was shoving. There was no reason why he needed to come out. So I think we were all second guessing that. And then Lester came in, and the first time ever out of the bullpen in his career, you can't really expect success there with the crappy weather. And then to add on to that, these are our best guys that we're throwing at him. And then Chapman comes in and gives up the dinger, and we're like, oh man, like it wasn't like a defeating moment, but we're like, what are we going to do? And there was nobody really thinking about, hey, let's go. Who wants to get a game of AC? Like somebody gets to go play game 21 or something like that. Like it was like we were really trying to grasp the moment at the time.
Got it. That's what I would have assumed.
Yeah.
It's a big moment.
And one of the worst things too is like rain delays when it's like have you heard of getaway day? You know what getaway day is?
No, we don't have getaway days.
Getaway day is like everybody's swinging at first pitch. Like sometimes those are amazing games to pitch in, and sometimes you're like, get me the fuck out of here.
What, when you're on the back end of a road trip or something like that?
105 game, and then you're going home and you got a day off Monday, or you're going somewhere else and like you just want to get there so you can relax for a day.
Yeah, that's really good for the fans. Good job, guys.
Yeah. Oh,
hey.
You see it all the time. Watch a game on Sunday where the team has a day off on Monday. Amazing games
first
to
pitch
like.
Swings.
Oh, first pitch. It's like guys can't wait to just get the fuck out of there.
And it's usually those Sunday games are some bench players giving the everyday guys some time off. The backup catcher sometimes like. Yeah, no, it's funny. I'd love to know the time difference on a Sunday or a getaway day game as opposed to like a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Absolutely, it's in and out.
You got. I mean, you pitched in. You got your experience, and you're settled down now. But now you go into the World Series and you're pitching. Like I know for like playing in regular season games, playoff games, AFC Championship games, didn't matter on those games. One snap and it felt just you fell into the game. World Series, or you get in the Super Bowl for me. It was like a quarter and a half for me to fucking calm down.
It was just shaking.
It was just you could see my hand shaking on the field right when I'm ready to snap, and it's just like, they tell you it's like, hey, treat it like another game. It's not another game, and you get in there and you see the spectacle that it is, and you're like, oh shit. Was that like for you in the World Series?
Yeah, any playoff experience that I had, it was like opening day is like a precursor to the playoffs. You tell that to the young guys when their first opening day, you're like, opening day, take this in because this is the playoffs every day. And so any playoff action I had, I remember because I didn't actually pitch in the World Series, which was a bummer, but I had a divisional game. I pitched in the divisional series against the Yankees with the Orioles in 2013 or 2012. I think it was 2012. And I faced Sabathia at home and then again in Yankee Stadium, and I literally identical lines. And my first game, like I was shocked that I got out of there with the line I did. And then my second outing at Yankee Stadium, I felt so much better about it, but it was just because of that experience. But it was a totally out of body experience at first. Like when you're running out there, like as a pitcher, you're in Yankee Stadium. New Yankee Stadium is very comfortable, by the way. Old Yankee Stadium, nightmare. New Yankee Stadium, very comfortable for a visiting player. And running out there, and you got the massive walls going up, and it gets your heart racing a bit. You feel like you're out there all alone in a prairie, and the world hates you. So trying to get a hold of your at that point took a little bit longer for me. But again, like Dan said, you just have to find a way to fuck yourself into thinking it's just another game, but it really isn't. It's mag is up
That's
there.
gotta be nuts for a pitcher, man. You are out there on an island.
Well, yeah, you're all alone. You're the loneliest place in the world. Yankee Stadium
I
out.
believe it.
They say that.
Clear the mechanism.
Okay. For love of the game reference out of you.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Billy
Billy Chapel. Yeah,
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie, and so he's a great character in that movie. So pitches that you wish you had back. More so, not necessarily a pitch that you wish you had back, but
Preferably from the California League.
no.
One that hasn't landed yet.
those things are still going. I was going to say more so, toughest guy to get out just in general, because usually that might be a pitch you want to have back. You know, like mine is I threw a changeup that I think exploded my elbow in the bullpen. I wish I had that pitch back, right?
Yeah.
But, like more so, toughest guy to get out. You know, and you pitched for a while in different leagues too, so in different divisions.
Yeah, I had a pretty good lineup that I remember in my nightmares. That guys that I just couldn't get out. One of them you'll never know the name. You won't remember him. He had a few years. His name was Fred Lewis. I don't know if that rings a bell for you, but he was a utility player with the Reds, the Giants, the Jays, lefty, little speed like a burner, like fly down the line. But he was a $120 hitter for everybody else, and he started his career 7 for 7 off me, and it was all extra base hits. Doubles.
It's funny that you say Fred Lewis. We actually have him on the line. Can you bring him in, Max? No. It's just, I get it though. Some people just have your number where they just rake you.
Exactly, and I couldn't figure him out for the longest time. When I did finally get him out, it was a weak rounder to second, but like it was so frustrating because he came up in big moments and killed me. Just absolutely killed me. Some of the other tougher outs. Oh boy. Paul Konerko was a tough out. Manny, I thought I handled pretty well. David Ortiz was tough. I mean, he was tough for everybody.
Man, yeah, that's a nice one to have. Is he in your book? You punch him?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one to have in the book.
Manny was fun at bat because you knew exactly what he was looking for within the first 2 pitches. And if he didn't get that pitch, he wouldn't swing. He'd just take his 3 strikes and he'd go sit down. But if he knew it was coming, he would not miss it. He was a guy that didn't miss too often. So, what's his name? The righty with the Indians used to run. He had the chicken wing. He'd run around the base. No,
he was lefty.
Right. Ramirez.
Dan won't know. Dan will have no shot. He's like, Zach Thomas.
Yeah,
got a hard head.
He probably hit 8 bombs off me in his career. A-Rod was a tough out. Another one that I couldn't figure out for the longest time was James Loney. You guys would know that name.
Yep.
Nope.
Damn, I know that one. I've got you, Dan. Just noping you to death.
Hey, nope.
No, Dan's like, did he actually pitch?
Do you get up there and like with like A-Rod or Manny Ramirez, just go, holy shit, I'm pitching to this guy right now? Like, where's there one guy you're like starstruck?
Derek Jeter. Jeter was. Yeah, 100% Jeter. Like he was, I mean, he didn't look like much when he was in the box. He didn't. But good guy. He would give you a hell of an at bat. And just got his 300th or 3,000th.
Yeah, Miggy
Cabrera. My God, never seen a guy have more fun on the field. And
how old is he now? 50?
No. He's not that old. Some of these guys,
old.
well, we don't. A lot of these people, we don't know the age. That's the tricky part
true.
too. Like what's his name? Pujols.
Yeah,
he's 50 or 30.
Danny Almonte.
He's very much a Danny. You know that name. You don't know. He pitched for 10 years in the bigs. And you don't know any names he's saying. You know Danny Almonte now.
There's a good chance
everybody knows Danny Almonte.
Yeah,
pitching in the big leagues under a different name. For all we know.
Yeah, he probably is.
Doesn't Pujols look like he's running on broken glass too? I feel so bad for the guy.
Yeah, he's
still making what, $20 million a year this year?
Well,
Jesus Christ!
That's how it works. That's how the game works. It's better when guys are making that money like 2 or 3 years after they retire, after they get done playing. It's just money coming. I
want to have a Bobby Bonilla day.
Yeah, Dan Koppen
That's what
day.
I want.
Yep, Bobby Bonilla day, man. What a contract.
All right, let's get to golf.
No, I want to cover one thing and then golf. Dead ball era right now. Do you wish you were pitching right now? Have you seen what the unders are doing right now in betting?
Did you use Stick'em?
We have it right here. We have the spider tack.
I tried like
Stick'em's NFL.
Did you just spike it in the ground?
What's that?
Did you just spike the ball into the ground if you tried that? Did you try spider tack?
Where the release point was, because I didn't know if I had a lot or a little. Like it was so hard to predict like the texture, whether it was going to stick. Like there was guys like Joel Peralta was a guy like I can be very real with this. Like, if you call out the other team for using Stickum, you're calling out your own team for using Stickum.
Yeah,
because
Yep.
three quarters of your staff has something, and it's because the cue ball of a baseball that we use in the big leagues has almost no seams, and it is extremely hard to hold on to in cold weather. That's why guys use it. And like, if you were to ask a hitter, would you rather a guy use Stickum, or would you rather a guy that's throwing 100 have no clue where it's going? They're gonna be like, use Stickum. They're just gonna say it.
Yep.
It's stupid. I can't believe that it's even a beef or it's even relevant still. I don't understand it. But it didn't work for me. I would either spike it into the ground like a 40-foot heater, or I'd throw it halfway up the backstop. I had no idea how to manipulate the way those guys did. But Joel Peralta was a guy.
I would rather have you have control.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
That scares me.
Well, because then if you get hit, you know they were trying to hit you.
Yeah.
It's like you're up there terrified the whole time.
Who have you thrown at intentionally? That just pissed you off.
I never threw at anybody intentionally in my career.
Come on.
Oh, I mean,
Come on.
grinning.
Did anybody come out to the mound?
No, nobody ever charged me. No.
Really? You played that long and you never had somebody come at you?
Nope.
You were just a nice guy out there.
I only got thrown out once too.
I saw that story. Actually, I put it on the list that you got tossed.
I can't believe it. I couldn't believe that he rung me. Like,
well, you did give up back-to-back home runs.
Was it Joe West?
Back-to-back home runs.
And then you hit somebody. So, yeah, you're lying when you say that you didn't hit somebody on purpose. That is the ultimate time to hit somebody.
But it was a slider. If I'm going to hit somebody and put it in
all right. Yeah.
Very put 95 behind it. You know,
Are you telling the ump I was a slider? I didn't.
Yeah.
It was intentional.
Yeah, I was like, dude, if the umpire, I forget.
Joe West. Joe West.
No, it wasn't Joe West.
With an H.
I wish it was Joe West. It was Hunter Wendelstadt, and I literally bomb after bomb after bomb. It back in Baltimore, and then a slider that spun, and it was literally all sliders that the guys were launching, because I was sweating like a pig that day, and I could not find the grip, and it was just spinning, just middle hit me balls, and then I hit Tuiasosopo in the front shoulder, and he ran me, and I was like, what? I mean, I was seeing red for the first time in my career on something that it was like literally out of my control. Like, I got run. It's not like he's going to let me come back in. So then I had to like let it eat. And I was like, dude, are you serious? Really? You think I'm going to hit him with a slider? Did you see the velocity? Are you paying attention? And that was what really got me flustered with like umpires at that point in my career. Like, after a while, I was like, man, it's a tough job, but pay a little attention, you know? I feel like some of those place it, and I can't.
Your boy Schwarber got rung big with Angel 2 nights ago or last night. He lost it too. That was a good one.
Angel's probably.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's not surprising that Angel was the umpire either.
Not surprising at all.
He had a bad night.
No, he has a bad night all the time.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's a terrible zone.
He has a lot of bad nights. He called my debut game.
That's a good quick fact. Good.
Yeah.
And did he have a good zone? Was it tight? Your
well.
debut zone is like probably this big, where you probably had some umpires that eventually you played for a while that you were getting the outside corner.
Yep. Yeah. Right? After a while, there's some guys out there. There's some like you start getting a ball off, like not like back in the 2001 World Series with the Marlins and the Mets where you're getting a foot off the plate. Like those where you go back and watch the play, it was like laughable how wide they were going. But yeah, like it was a keyhole zone my debut. I was like, wow, this is a big league zone. I'm fucked.
Yeah, it's tough to do.
Yeah.
So you've been out for a few years now. Who are your boys still? I mean, you still have that group text. It's like 9 years old, because I do. It's hilarious, and like we should delete it, but
yeah, that's probably not one to show everybody.
Who are your boys still? And what team do they come from? Because you're with a lot of programs too.
Yeah, it's pretty sporadic. My last spring training was with the Rangers, and I made the team, and I walked immediately. The family wasn't excited that I made the team really, so I was like, all right, I guess this is it. I'm done. And so I only had a few weeks with those guys, and I made a couple friends there, with some pitching stuff. And Eric Gagne, he's a good dude, good golfer too, plays on like the celebrity tours around. Really good golfer. But most of my chats are with the Royals, which I had my last 2 years in. I mean, I still keep in touch with like Lester and Lackey and Hendricks with the Cubbies, and I could shoot a text to some of those guys and they'd probably answer, but it's more or less.
Think they want to come on?
Yeah,
Let's get some more.
We'll eventually use you for that. Yes, absolutely.
But they I mean, I could. It's kind of random, but most of them are. The majority of them are pitchers for sure. But I guess the Royals guys, and then we had a young team, so a lot of those guys kind of used dad. And I was just down in Pinehurst, and I texted with Brad Keller because we use the same caddy when we're down. Me and Whit Merrifield and Brad Keller use the same caddy when we go there, and so those guys were check in with those guys. So
out of all those guys, or out of anybody that who's the best pitcher or baseball player, golfer?
Man,
'cause you're pretty good.
No, actually,
you play good club.
Hammel, we're gonna play next week.
Yeah, next week
we're gonna set it up.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna put my money on him.
Oh no, I put my money on him too.
I'm gonna put my money on him.
Can I?
How'd Pinehurst go?
Pinehurst was good. It was in great shape. I played Tobacco Road too, which was a treat. That was
a very cool spot. Yep.
I shot. What did I shoot at Tobacco? So my first round at Tobacco was 77, and I was pretty psyched since I hadn't picked up a club in 7 months. And then my first round at Pinehurst was number 8, and I shot 88.
Okay. Well, maybe the money's coming back to you a little bit.
Yeah.
No, not the way I'm swinging right now. It's disgusting. But I've done Pinehurst a few times, and that's a cool trip. You played 2 on this trip, or
played 2? Played 2. Shot 84. But I couldn't hold a green to save my life. I got new wedges from JP Harrington, who was like Vokey's right-hand man. He started his own little company now. He's off on his own little venture called JP Golf, and they're sexy looking wedges, but man, they've got some teeth. And anywhere like Pinehurst is a Don Ross design, so it's all false front, and their greens were hard, and it'd take one big bounce, spin, and then zip right back. I mean, I spent all day with 30-40 yard chips because they just back off.
Yeah, the caddies down there call it de-greening, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you can hit the ball into a green, have a 12-footer for birdie, and putt it off the green into one of the waste bunkers.
Yeah.
And they call it de-greening. Like when they give you your putter, they like have their hand on the wedge because they're like, oh, he's going to miss his putt, and then he's going to have to come out of the bunker after this.
I've only played down. I played down there one time. I forget which one.
Trip. That's a fun trip. Have you done any other good ones? You done any other good ones with a group of guys like Cabot or anything?
Not yet. No. I'm trying to put together, like, now that I'm done, COVID really shut down my whole parade, like party, let's do this.
Yeah.
Go with the buddies afterwards. So just now kind of starting to put something together with the guys with a golf trip here and there. But I go down to Pinehurst with the Bettinardi guys, and then the other place I do want to get out to, which I never made when I was in Chicago, was up to Wisconsin and Sand Valley, like trying to get there. I've been to Kohler. That's a good one. That's where, Whistling Straits is, Black Wolf, Hills over there too. I'd love to go check out Paynes Valley too, the new Tiger one. But I mean, there's so many good destinations. Dan, I'm jealous of because he gets to go to Case Valley every year.
Yeah, that trip is back on the books this year.
Yeah, he's playing at this year.
Hey,
yeah, we didn't say in the beginning that you guys are at the same club, and I can't believe. Do you play a member together?
No, I played with Paul. He did reach out, and this year, I mean, our other jobs at home. Yeah. I forget what you said you have, but I have a graduation party I think I have to go to that day.
You might have to get a pass for that. A 2-day or
fine. But
is it a 2-day or 3-day at Wannamoyset for the members?
It's 3-day. Yeah, it's 3-day, Friday through Sunday.
See, we have three members.
Paul and I won the flight last year and just didn't. We actually.
Oh yeah, you
lost
guys did play well.
We won the flight. We talked about that. Yeah. But Caves Valley is back on.
Caves Valley's back on.
You've played on much better courses than I have, by the way. I got that one. I get the one every year, which is special. But
that one's not.
Have you played the country club yet in Brookline? Have you played the country club, Brookline?
I haven't played the country club.
Right.
Okay. Do you want to play it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to do that next week or the week after?
We can do it next week.
So let's do Quinnesset next week. So get him on.
Find out what his time schedule is with the job at home.
Yeah, that's all we need. We need a day on that one, though.
So
we need a full day.
We got
pass
pickup.
on that.
Do we have drop off and pickup, and do we have to work in between it, or can we schedule something?
Can you share your calendar with us?
When's the trip to the grocery store next week?
Yes. Can you like make that a different day next week? Pick up the eggs? No, then the eggs might be.
Let's get Monroe Dairy.
No.
We can deliver it to the house.
Do you have Monroe? Because we'll get an account for you so you can come out more.
We need Monroe because we had Monroe when we first moved in, and then when we kind of decided we were going to be in Chicago in the off seasons for a while, we gave it up. And now we can't.
It's hard to get back in.
Can't get back. Can't get back.
A country club. You can't get.
And you got to have the box on the door. If you don't have the box on the door, bah.
Maybe if you just put one out there, the guy will drive by and think, "Oh, I should be delivering
I should be dropping off here." Yeah. Okay, so we need a full day for the country club, though. Is that cool?
And Tip said they're playing the championship course now.
Only championship course this year. So we won't even play. We'll play the championship setup, which is sweet.
I've heard great things, and just haven't obviously been able to get out there yet. So yeah. Hey,
so this is an easy one. This is an easy one. I just need a day.
There's like guys that I play with that I play better. Hamill's one of them.
Oh, you play better with him?
I play better with him. I play better with you.
You do play.
But remember last year, we on 18, it's a little dog leg left, probably like 450 or whatever. He hit a fucking bomb off at 18 that I've never seen go. Remember you were in that forward trap?
Yeah, it was. Occasionally I run into one and it actually goes where I want it to.
Holy shit. It was a bomb. And he's 6'6".
Oh, he's 6'6".
And his swing is so long. Yeah. And if he gets it, I mean, then you go up after him, you have no chance.
All right, so we'll set up.
I felt like an asshole that day too, because that day you were shooting like a career round, like through like 12 holes. Like it was like we were going up to number 12.
What was it, 10 over?
Yeah, probably.
No, he had like a I think he had like a birdie. He had a bunch of pars. He had a string of pars, and I think he only bogeyed one hole. And I was like, dude, this has got to be like a career round. And then shit fell apart for him. But I was like, well,
shocking that happened.
He definitely fucked that one up. That was my bad. No, you don't. Of course.
No. This is our time to shine right now when the kids are in school. We can get out there and do whatever we want.
So what's a good time for a tee time for you? Is it because you got the grocery, you got drop off, and then you got the grocery store?
Yeah. So I can. What I'll do is I'll get like 30 bags of groceries this weekend, stock up.
Yep.
You drop off.
Yeah, you're not going to go to Dave's Market. You're going to go to like Costco. You hit like our BJ's. Yeah.
I would say Quidnessa, we need to work around that schedule. I think the championship course, like Country Club.
I'm hoping he gets a day.
No, I think that's something that just is an exception to the rules. Kind of like a Pinehurst trip.
My wife she's a saint. When it comes to that stuff, she's like, I want you to be able to go play golf. And now that things are opening up, like just this Pinehurst trip I was psyched. I mean, I played 108 holes in 3 days.
Yeah.
And
so
you're like, oh, I'm so happy for you. You finally got to do it, because I was getting to be annoying.
Yep.
I need to play. I need to go play. I'm jonesing. So yeah, we'll make it work for sure. But
okay. We'll make an easy one next week with Quid, and then we'll get a really
Jenkins
good.
To do that.
Jenkins will get a really good day for us for TCC. Now we do have to have the Fernando in the clubhouse after. So it's tonight. We might be Ubering home. Is that okay?
Stop at Capitol on the way home.
The last time that happened, you literally carried me out of a Capitol Grill in Providence. Yeah, and we had clients in town, like they were pressing me, and Dan's like, "We need to go." I ordered a 54-ounce steak because I was mad at them because they kept asking me real questions, and I was like, "Shut up! I'm pretty drunk. I don't want to do this anymore." And then the waitress came around. I was like, "Give me the biggest." They were paying actually, so they were vendors, not clients. I was like, "Give me the most expensive steak on the menu," and then I didn't even eat it. I went to the bathroom because I couldn't even move.
That's because your eyes were closing at the table.
Oh, they were closed. Dan carried me home that night. Appreciate that. I haven't thanked you for that yet.
I'm still putting money on him.
Maybe you could carry both of us. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I'll both get a tomahawk, and then we'll just drink.
And a special drink up at TCC. So we'll set that up. That's no problem. What's the number right now? Plus, you're 1, 2. Like, how's the handicap?
I think I'm right around a 1, but again, it's
early.
Why don't you play that club court thing?
You're a Northeast golf guy now.
Yeah, why don't you play that club court thing? That's all kinds of good big league guys playing that are golfers. The one that was this past weekend, or I guess it was a little while ago. It was taped, right?
You talking about the one down in Tahoe?
No. That's American Century. The club court was Smoltz and Romo.
Well, I know one of my buddies, Bud Norris, plays in it.
I forget where it was, but it's club
there's
court.
a bunch of guys that are in it.
Yeah.
You know Bud?
I played with Bud in AA. Well, I played with him all the way through for 4 years. So he's I call him the lunchbox.
He's a good stick.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's like a bot. He used to be a bot. Now he's like all crazy in shape right now. I don't know what he's doing. He's like just working out and like he's retired. He had a good career, but he was like a little box, But he is a good golfer. He can move it.
That's like Ionetta, who's a Rhode Island guy. You guys know that name, right? We call him SpongeBob SquarePants because he was just literally like you looked at rectangular sponge catcher. Good target too. Like you don't block everything.
Yeah. But we got to get Bud on soon, actually. I've got some good Bud stories.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's do
some
it.
very good Bud stories. Okay.
All right, buddy.
So next week we're doing Quid. We'll set that up, and then the week after we'll go to TCC. We'll do it up big.
It's perfect.
Past Our Prime is brought to you by SquadLocker. SquadLocker is your one-stop shop for custom team apparel, delivered right to your front door. Learn more by visiting squadlocker.com.